Just win, baby.
What's going on, Raiders and Raiderettes? It's ROB here, Raider Rob, and welcome to Raider Nation Central, the ultimate destination for all things Las Vegas Raiders. Whether you're a lifelong fan or you're new to the silver and black, this channel is your go-to source for everything Raiders. From the in-depth analysis, breaking news, and player updates to game previews and post-game breakdowns, we'll cover it all. Raider Nation Central is dedicated exclusively to the Raiders, and we're here to bring you the content you crave. So hit that subscribe button, join the Raider Nation family, and let's dive into the latest from our beloved team, all right? Hey, check this out. This is one thing that you got to know. If you're a lifelong Raider fan, you know once a Raider, always a Raider. So once you join the family of Raider Nation Central, you're always going to be my family, all right? We're going to be a community here, all right? So what I like to bring to you today, as you could probably see from the beginning of the show, is we got some things to talk about, right? And I'm not going to hold you guys too long, but it is some things I want to talk about that does raise some concern, all right? So with that being said, the 2024 NFL season is right around the corner. And the Raider Nation, it's time to gear up for what we think is a promising and exciting year for the silver and black, all right? The Raiders have made some key moves this offseason, and the roster is looking stronger to me than ever. So in this video, I'm going to try and share some of my predictions for the upcoming season. You know, breaking down the schedule, showing you who I think the highlight players to look at and watch. And at the end of this video, you be the judge. Do we think we got an opportunity to make the playoffs this year? So stick around. I'll give you my take on how the Raiders will fare and what we can expect from the team in the months ahead. All right, so let's go. So first and foremost, one of the things that really raised my eyebrows was that the Raiders were projected as the 25th team in the power rankings. Did not really expect that. And I kind of had some concerns about that, right? Because I really think that a lot of is being based off of the play at quarterback. This is a team that last year won 8 games. And from the looks of it, it seems that we are not the ones that are to be ascending this year. And look, they got us at 25 right now. The article did not specify who exactly it was. I don't know if it was Sports Illustrated or whoever it was. Anyway, it says on paper, the Raiders have a sneaky, strong roster, adding Christian Wilkerson to pair with Max Crosby, created an elite D-line duo. Devontae Adams is still a star receiver. It's just going to be a tough to compete with a QB combination of Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. So they're already telling us that having Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell is a problem for us, right? Because we don't have proper, I guess you could say, quarterback play, that we will suffer all the way around. I believe the line still for the Raiders this year is 6 wins. So I kind of haven't really looked at the full schedule. I did look at the schedule, but just seeing where the home games, away games was, I decided to make this video be more about that and less about what the power rankings are. Because I know it's week 1. Power rankings will fluctuate, but to actually know that this is what analysts believe that the Raiders will finish kind of raises concern, because maybe they don't really understand what the Raiders are doing this year, right? So if you've seen my first video, my AP hype video, where I'll just dive in and let you guys know like the culture that AP is setting for the Raiders. It's a culture that needed to be set years ago. And if you are a lifelong Raider fan, you know in the premier day dawn of the Raiders, they were always in the playoffs. They were always fighting for championships. This was just something that was the Raider way. And we want to get back to that. And AP knows that. So changing the mindset of the players is very critical to get the ball rolling in the right direction, right? We've been flying we've been on the wrong plane in the wrong direction for quite some time now. And it's a breath of fresh air to actually have a coach who wants to set that first, and an owner that decided to make sure to have that in the building. And as you can see, since Josh McDaniels was let go earlier last season, the Raiders responded well through all the turmoil. Again, that's one thing we do, man. You know, when Gruden was gone, we still were able to kind of band together and made a playoff run. You know, we almost did that last year, but we fell short. And those were learning experiences for the Raiders. And that was my initial goal for making this video, is for those who just know that, watch the team, they see how they play, and they know what they can do, right? To hear some of the critics, you know, kind of say, well, they look like they can do something, you know, but you know, that quarterback, you know. So I want to dive in and do my own analysis of the season as truthfully as I can give it. I will not be, you know, I'm a Raider fan, but I love football. You know, I've been a Raider fan my whole life. Well, since the age of 11, and I really enjoy watching my football team win. And it's been a few years since we've seen that. We've had a couple spurts here and there, but we want more consistency with our football team. And I believe that Antonio Pierce is helping achieve that. So, with that being said, I won't make this video super long, but I want to get into that and let you guys know where we're looking at for the upcoming season. So, let's just get the thing started, man. We're going to go through here and we're going to go through the schedule right now before the season starts. We're going to see where we're at, right? So, we look at here, up here on the screen, you can see week 1, we start against the Chargers at SoFi. All right. The Chargers are now under new head coach, Harbaugh. I don't remember the first name. Who cares? Anyway, he was brought in to bring the Chargers back to relevance. And I think Harbaugh is a good coach, man, you know, to do what he did in Michigan, especially do what he did in San Francisco his first tenure, and to take that team where he did, to not only close to really just winning the Super Bowl and setting that precedent, but going to Michigan, winning a natty, now coming back to the NFL and just really trying to set the precedent. So I think that's a good game for the Raiders to win. I don't have a real score prediction, I guess, but I will say this is that the Chargers are in a form of a rebuild. You know, I noticed they let go of a lot of players that were previously on the team. Some didn't want to work out contracts, whatever it may be, but they did keep some core pieces. But the Raiders do have the ability to beat them. I believe that they go into SoFi. It's pretty much going to be like a home game because right now Chargers ain't got a lot of fans there, so they might have to do silent count at their own stadium, man, which is crazy. But we're gonna go ahead and get that to the Raiders, right? So week 2, play the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are a good team. I don't know if they win as I'm recording this on Wednesday. This will be the kickoff for the NFL season. So the Ravens will be in Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Although y'all guys don't know, I am from KC, but I'm a Raiders fan. KC Raiders for life. So I want the Ravens to win because I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I don't know if the Ravens are gonna do it. So I will say this: they'll try to come home, play on a higher note, and I think it'll be a tough game for the Raiders to win in Baltimore when Baltimore opens up their season at their stadium. So I gave Baltimore the dub on that one. The Raiders lose that game, but come back home week 3. Looks like they're playing the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are a team that's obviously also kind of in a rebuild, just trying to piece everything together to get themselves back rolling. I know there's been some personnel changes, bringing in certain players, obviously, um, and they're looking to kind of make a better push in that NFC South division. Um, to be honest, I don't see us losing to Carolina. I don't. There's really not a lot of analytical analysis there. Um, it's just their defense, I believe, isn't better. And also, you're asking them to come cross country to come play us at the Death Star and get a win. No, I don't see it happening. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mark the Carolina Panthers as a dub. We're gonna give ourselves a dub on that one. Um, so week 4, we come back and we play at home against the Browns. And the Browns are a really good team. Browns are a playoff team from last year. Really just um I don't know his name, Steven. I don't know how to pronounce his name. How do you guys pronounce it? Put it in the comments, whatever his name is. Stefanski. Um, but praises to him, man. He took a team that really, you guys brought Deshaun Watson in to be the franchise quarterback, and you're not really getting what you kind of pay for out of him right now. But you still find the ways to win games, even with a hurt Nick Chubb. Um, I give it to that's things you like in teams right there. I think that they really have he's kind of got something there. I don't know if how they fare this year with it. Is Deshaun gonna come back to their relevance and dominance that he showed when he was in Houston? I don't know, but I do know the defense is just as good as Cleveland's. As far as edges, just playing solid defense side of the ball. I don't see how the Raiders give that up to them at home right now. So I will get a dub to the Raiders on that one to beat the Browns. Um, week 5, it looks like we play um, Denver. And it's in Denver. Listen, man, I don't care if we in Denver, if we at home or against Denver. I'm just telling you, I don't see us losing to Denver. Denver right now is doing some things with Sean Payton. He's a coach that just, is going to run it his way. He's going to run his system. And if it takes a little time for it, cool. Right now, I just they're trying to make sure they got every piece they need to succeed uh, in the NFL, and they probably decided to part away from Russell Wilson. I believe they let Jerry Judy. I think he did go to Cleveland. Just getting rid of pieces that he doesn't really need there anymore, and that's fine. And in that process, in that rebuild, I believe the Raiders have enough weapons to be able to neutralize Denver in any phase. So I will give this game in Denver to the Raiders. I believe the Raiders go in there and take care of business. And enough is that, man. This is something that we should all know is that Sean Payton is a Super Bowl coach. But this might be a young man game, man. He might be able to, the way you can reach players sometimes is not the way that he did. So that's just my opinion. We go from there. But looks like week 6, we got the Steelers. Steelers. Now this is possibly, I think, one of the Raiders' highest ticketed games on their schedule this year. I believe so. Let me know in the comments if this is the highest ticketed game. I think tickets were going for just outrageous prices for this game, and a lot of that probably has to do with Steelers fans do heavily travel, so that could be a reason too. But um, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, I believe his name, George Pickens. Um, I can't remember the other receiver they grabbed, but Steelers have a good team, man. Offensive, defensively, with their defensive front, linebacking core. I know they picked up McQueen. They are a good football team, and don't get me wrong. Again, a lot of people are picking the Raiders to be at the bottom of the league, but you feel like some other quarterback play is better. Like, I know Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but there's a reason why he ain't in Denver, and I don't know if it's him or the organization, but I guess that's yet to be determined. But you asking me, do I think he can come in there and play in a I feel like the Raiders are going to play very defensively hostile. They're going to play some in your face, try to neutralize you type football. And certain quarterbacks can handle that. Russell Wilson, I believe, can handle that, but just intense, man, intense force. And that's going to get into some of these guys' face. And I don't think that Russell Wilson's going to be ready for that at the Death Star. So week 6, I will give that to the Raiders. Like I said, this is just something that I feel, and just taking a good look and dive and just what I think could happen. So week 7, I'm looking here and I see they play the LA Rams. And the LA Rams, of course, are a team that's already won a Super Bowl under Sean McVay. They are looking to keep creating new pieces. I believe that the combo of Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp is very beneficial to them. Also having Kyron Williams. Matthew Stafford still able to sling the ball, man. Kudos to him. I know he the OG in the game now, but this team is kind of sneaky, man. I'm gonna tell you something about the Rams. They are a sneaky team. I've seen them win certain games I didn't expect them to win. Even the Super Bowl that they win, like the Bengals really fought against them, and Matthew Stafford really had to lay heavily on Cooper Kupp just to win that Super Bowl because Odell Beckham had left the game with a knee injury. So I'll say this. I'll say that I think that. All right. Well, look, since it's in SoFi on the road, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give the game to the Rams. I'm gonna say that the Raiders lose that game to the Rams. But then turn back around, we go home and we got the Super Bowl winning Chiefs, right? Patrick Mahomes, all the offensive weapons you've seen from this offseason, the additions of, like I said, the running back. I believe they got a different running back. They lost some pieces here, but gained some other pieces everywhere else. Again, man, it's a tough team. The Chiefs had the Raiders number, especially at Allegiant Stadium. They have not beat the Chiefs at home since the stadium opened, I believe, during 2020 pandemic. 2020-21 season, they have not beat them in Vegas. I don't know how to feel about that because you're just like, yo, at some point that streak has to end. And I think Antonio Pierce really is trying to push, like I said, protecting home, protecting your house, making sure that you know that it's important to win your games at home because you want to make those almost the ones that should be guaranteed more beneficial on your side. And I feel like that's something that might come across this year with this team is that winning at home is very important. And even though I know that the Chiefs really did make some good additions to help benefit Mahomes on the offensive side of the ball, defensively, I feel like they're still just as good. I think they're still ranked in the top 10, but I know at one point the Raiders were ranked in the top 10. So if I had anything to say, I say at home, this would be the year that Anthony Pierce gets them over the hump. I give the dub to the Raiders. We're winning at the Death Star. All right. After that week, looks like week 9, we're going to Cincinnati. We're going to the Natty, man. Go up there with Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, man, it's kind of like what are we gonna get from him this year? And is this something that we're gonna try, and are they gonna be already in the midst of a playoff run? Are they on fire? We don't know what they're really gonna be looking like at this point. I will say this: Joe Burrow is a capable quarterback to win tough football games. They call him Joey Cool. He wants to get back. He seems like a kid that's determined to want to be the best in the league, man, which is cool. Um, and I'll say this is like, I think that he's been battle tested, so he can kind of handle, hostile situations or hostile games and such. So I'll say Bengals get this game at home. They will win at home. Raiders take the L, right? By this, we're looking at week 10. Week 10 is the bye. Hopefully, guys, whoever's hurt could heal up or just relax. just focus on the mental aspect of the game because it's a grueling season, just things of that nature, and just get ready for obviously a Week 11 matchup against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. This is a game I'm not going to really have to think too much about. I'm just being honest, and I'm going to say just off my thought process, I'm going to get this game to Miami. Miami does have some key weapons. They're I think the fact of having Tyreek Hill just allows you to play a certain way. The fact that they are at home and in a controlled climate, it makes it more beneficial to them. They have some speed, man, on that offensive side of the ball, and they're still really good. This is a playoff team as well, so I will say this: I say the Raiders do take the L to Miami in Miami. Again, that's just my opinion about it. Tell me what you think. You think they can actually beat them or not? Let me know. Week 12. Week 12, like I said, man, we're playing Denver. And we Denver needs to be both games we're winning. Okay. I don't even want to hear nothing else about that Raiders. All right. That's one thing one thing that's unacceptable to me right now is you giving up wins to the Broncos. All right. Don't take them lightly. Just put the pedal down, take it to them. All right. To think Gardner Minshew can't beat the Broncos is just like, come on, man. Like Gardner Minshew won, I believe, 8 games with the Colts last year. Hell, he beat us. And I really think in that aspect, well, I can't really say he did, but we were a oddly enough offsides by Jack Jones, which it wasn't, but we ain't getting into that. But yeah, back to the Broncos. I just do not see us losing to the Broncos. I don't want to spend too much time with them. That's a dub for us, right? And again, week 13, traveling to Kansas City, Arrowhead. This is a game that I went back and forth, but I just think it's just one of them games. Like I said, this might be the year the Raiders split with the Chiefs. Chiefs are a good football team, man. I can't take that away from them. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Kansas City. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I do respect the fact that they play good football. I just well, when you enjoy the game of football, you watch it. But the Raider fan in me is like, y'all know what it is, Raider fans. But the Chiefs are a good football team. They're coached well by Andy Reid. I'm pretty sure Andy Reid is going to be having his stuff dialed up, possibly from, like I said, the first butt whooping we put on them. And I believe they get the win that day to kind of keep pushing them towards wherever they want to go. Because, like I said, I still feel like the Chiefs are going to be the team to beat in the division. They're going to win the division. And it's just something that, as a Raider, if you don't want the Chiefs to win the division, you still always have to be making sure you're winning the meaningful games, playing a tough competition, winning those tough games, because those are the type of games you're going to be in when you want to make a playoff push. Right, you want to be in those games where you're trying to win those meaningful games to get in the playoffs, and the Chiefs have shown to do that. Right, so this might be a game where they might need this really to get solidify themselves somewhere else, and those are games sometimes they really find out win. So I have to give it to the Chiefs to win at home. Again, just what my opinion. Like I said, tell me what you think. Week 14, it's a travel to Tampa Bay. Looks like we're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that have Baker Mayfield, man. Listen, Baker Mayfield's a journeyman quarterback. Um, just got paid. He's got some good weapons still down there in Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think Rashad White. The defense is still Levante David. Also, good secondary. I don't remember the kid's name. Last name is Davis, but Ty Bowles has those guys really playing some decent football. Man, they made the playoffs last year. Like I said, just a team that's just a good overall football team. Do I think they're just so dominant and so great? No, I think that they have holes similar to kind of like what certain parts of the Raiders, But it should be a tough football game on both sides. I think that the Raiders have the ability to pull some of the tougher games out this year because the defense is going to be a little bit better. And they're going to be able to kind of neutralize certain aspects within Tampa Bay's game. Like, Tampa Bay has really good receiving cores, but, I think that Baker Mayfield is going to have a little trouble with that pass rush that's going to be coming at him, and he might be prone to throw some picks here and there. So I'll give the dub to the Raiders on that one. They're going on the road, beating Tampa Bay, and yeah, man, it's just one of them things like you kind of want to just take the feeling and see where you come from with it. So week 15 looks like we come back at home, which is the only primetime game we got, man. This is the only primetime game we got. And I'm kind of like a little irked about that. Like, I think we had 4 or 5 last year, and you gave us one this year. That either tells me that they don't think the Raiders are going to be that good, or, they didn't get, some star quarterback to put on prime time. I don't know, man. It's just the NFL is just trying to do some old BS stuff with us, and we really need to make sure that we set the tone this year so people can really know, like, yo, we must see TV. All right, we must see TV. But with that being said, we got Atlanta at home. Atlanta to me is a really good football team. I mean, they have some good pieces down there. Their defense is good. I don't remember that they weren't bottom of the league, but they have arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL. I know a lot of people, if you don't know a lot about Bijan Robinson and you didn't really think he did that great last year, he showed some flash last year, but his college tape at Texas is unbelievable. He did some amazing stuff, but he's a really good football player, true athlete. And they got Kirk Cousins, man. Hey man, if Kirk can get it done, Kirk gonna find a way to get it done. But I went back and forth from looking at this game, man. I know I'm probably gonna get killed for it about it, but I just don't know. It's just one of these games I feel like the Raiders might not be locked in that one. I guess I don't know. I mean, just call it what I see it, but I think they don't win this game on prime time. I think it's gonna be somewhere the Raiders are gonna have to kind of get a little chin check to realize, like, hey, look, we still got to fight, still got to keep climbing out. So I give that to the Falcons. They also stay at home, and then they have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming into town. So I think that at Jacksonville coming into town will it'll be a game coming across country like that. I'm gonna say that the Raiders win that. All right. I'm gonna say that Jacksonville comes here and leaves with an L. All right. And which is listen, Trevor Lawrence just got paid. And, you know, do I think he's overpaid? Hey, look, I don't count people's pockets. I just know for what your performance is, to what the money you're being paid, it don't add up to me because, you know, guy that won the past two Super Bowls, you make $10 million more than on the field. So, but hey, like I said, I don't count pockets. But Trevor Lawrence is somebody we could look at as, could be a good quarterback in the future, maybe Super Bowl winning. Don't know, don't care, don't think he's gonna get the dub here. So I will say he could. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really want to say he could. And I'm really mad about that because, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going back and forth with it, guys. Really saying that I think because I just had Kirk Cousins and I'm looking at him and I'm saying we're gonna lose to Kirk Cousins, but then we're gonna beat the Prince. Yeah, we can. We're gonna stick with that. All right, we're gonna stick with Atlanta. We're gonna stick with Atlanta, winning, and then because we're gonna lose on prime time, and we're gonna go in that. Man, we're gonna beat the Prince. We're gonna beat the Prince. I just don't, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if I'm tripping or not. I kind of want to switch that, but we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that for right now. So week 17, we have a date with our boy, man. Y'all know who it is, man. It's Derek Carr. Derek Carr is, for those of you that all know or don't know, Derek Carr is probably the one of the longest tenured Raiders in the past, of course, 20 years. He he came in, man, out of Fresno State. Really came into an organization that really just embraced him. He loved being a Raider. He was happy with being a Raider. But unfortunately, under the McDaniels era, he was shipped off to the Saints, or he signed with the Saints. Let me say that. Um, this game would probably be a kind of emotional game for both sides because there's still a lot of players that played for the Raiders that's still affiliated with Derek Carr. And it's probably gonna be emotional for Carr, man. I can see Carr trying to play out of his mind. Plus, they're playing in New Orleans. New Orleans does have a good defense. They got a team that's capable of playing solid defense, especially at home. I've seen a lot of games where New Orleans just when they're, especially when it's kind of that type of emotion in the air, New Orleans is going to try to play locked in. So be on the lookout for that. I think that if I had to say, I say that the Saints win at home, beating the Raiders. Um, Emotional win for Carr. You know, it's probably something that the Raiders should be a game the Raiders should win. But like I said, it could be a game just where they don't have enough that night and Saints find a way to get the dub. And then we finish off the season, man, with the Chargers. And again, I think the Chargers are a good team. I think the Chargers just going to be missing a few pieces that they would need to successfully beat the Raiders, especially the Raiders possibly fighting for a playoff spot, uh, playing at home. The Raiders will be ending that game at home versus the Chargers. I really think that that could be something that motivates them to win that game and know the ramifications that could be if they didn't, right? So finishing that off, guys, I'm looking at it. I'm sitting at 10-7. Now, I ask myself, is this the is this enough to get us to the playoffs? You know, you tell me. You be the judge. You guys let me know if this is something to get us to the playoffs. 10-7 is not great, but hey, I'm all about forward moving. And as long as we're progressing each year, those wins will start stacking and staying. All right. The Raiders are a really good football team that is on the rise. I think the additions that they made, trying to not do it, not trying to rush the way, trying to just overspend and over leverage yourself in free agency, and just trying to just jump to get certain guys in drafts just because you're trying to make a splash. It was not needed. I think the Raiders have a good foundation. I believe this foundation is something that they should really stand on and keep working at. Again, this was definitely pretty cool to do. You know, this is my first one. I appreciate you guys that have stayed to the end of the video. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? How you think the schedule is going to be for this year? You know, you've heard mine. Put it down in the comments what you think it is. Shoot me the records. Um, and also be on the lookout for the other content I'll be coming out with. I will be doing post game videos. Um, I'll be doing some of my fantasy stuff, my fantasy channel, my Elite Eight fantasy football channel. I have me and my brother are going to do. My brother has his channel, Branch Huddle. Man, it's just a lot of good things coming for the end of 2024, going into 2025. Hey, man, Raiders fans, this is our year. This is our time to start moving in that right direction. You know, we are trying to get back to them Lombardis so we can bring a chip to the Vegas stadium, right? Everywhere the Raiders go, we drop off trophies. You feel me? So with that being said, man, I really appreciate you guys taking the time, checking out my channel, checking out my content. Please leave a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe on your way out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit one for your boy. This is your boy ROB, Raider Rob, with the Raider Nation Central channel. And I'll get back here with you when I get back with you. Take it easy.